beautiful ones. I am Bird Mejia, and this
I'm
is
Naim.
and welcome
Peace.
to Cosmic Convos.
Cosmic Convos. What's that? Oh wait, I'm in that. I should know what that is.
Yes, that's what we're talking. That's
Yeah,
what we.
right.
That's
This
what we
is
named the
Cosmic
program.
Convos. Yeah.
Cosmic
I knew that. I
Convos.
knew that. Yeah.
And we're talking more about.
Not you.
That's my dog.
I thought I was your dog.
Oh. Talking about soulmates.
We're talking about soulmates?
Yeah.
Cool. I like talking about soulmates. Less pressure.
Mm-hmm.
A lot more calmer.
Yes.
I love soulmates. So precious. They're like those what are those things called that you like blow on?
What, balloons?
No, the really bird balloons. No, the things you pick out of the grass and you.
Oh, the dandelions.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Right,
Dandelions.
the dandelions. Okay, yes. I like dandelions. I love dandelions.
But you don't remember what they called?
Well, I didn't know what you were talking about.
I didn't know they were called either.
Okay.
I ain't got no.
All right. Anyways, we're talking more about soulmates.
Soulmates.
So people have more questions about soulmates and twin flames,
Mm-hmm.
and we just did one more about more information on twin flames. So
Now this one's about soulmates.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about characteristics. How do you know somebody is a soulmate?
They crazy. No, I'm playing. Someone is a soulmate, the way you can recognize this, because I feel like soulmate is such a general term. Like even before I learned the knowledge, like, oh, you're my soulmate.
That means like that's a person you're going to spend the rest of your life.
You are my one and only.
Yeah.
What you know what I'm saying? And even the interpretation of what people think a soulmate is actually a twin flame. What you think a soulmate is a twin flame, and what a soulmate actually is not what you think it is. Like a soulmate comes into your life many times. We explained this in the last video. And the way that you know that they're a soulmate is that you're going to have a connection. Obviously, that's like a general standpoint, like I told you with twin flames. The only difference is soulmates is where you get that whole love at first sight. You just see them and it's like the moment you meet them, it's like a deep connection. Or just for some reason, you might be in a grocery store and you just lock eyes with somebody and like, damn, I felt this energy from you. So like something about you caught me off guard. Yes. It was something about you. Like the first time I met you, I remember I was just thinking about you all night. Like that's where you find something.
Well, it can show up like that. It doesn't necessarily, because sometimes
you ask the characteristics.
That's one of. Sometimes it shows up like that love at first sight, like especially if it's opposite sex.
Like it's not. But I don't want to say that. I wasn't explaining it like as if love at first sight is how you know it's a soulmate. That's just one of the ways.
That's one of the ways.
Can meet a soulmate. Okay, so soulmates. We're talking about soulmates.
Characteristics. How do we know?
How do you know the characteristics of a soulmate? Well, the way that you can acknowledge that someone's a soulmate is one of the examples is like where they get the whole love at first sight. Like I just saw them and I knew they were the one, or I just met them. You see somebody in a grocery store and you just lock eyes with them and you just have a connection with them just in passing. That was a soulmate. When you meet just a random stranger in the parking lot and you guys just start talking, like those are soulmates. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that you just have a immediate connection with, just an instant connection, you just vibing.
Yeah, so you maybe even sitting at work. I know for me one time I was sitting at work and we had a new person came in for an interview and like I recognized him. I was like, how do I know him? And then another female, because it doesn't have to always be the same sex. It's like somebody you've traveled with before. It can be a soulmate that's, the same sex. If I had women that walked in and I'm like, I think I know you. Like, where have I seen you before? It's like a recognition. So one of the ways you recognize them is you recognize them, right?
Right. It's kind of a conundrum, but that's the truth about it is that you remember who they are because a soulmate is, like we explained in our video about twin flames, the twin flame is yourself reborn in another form that you're meeting, whereas a soulmate is a life that you traveled with in your past life that you're meeting again. So you feel like I feel like I know you from somewhere. I feel, like you said, and that's how you know that they're a soulmate.
And some of them can, because I've had one in particular. I walked in literally into a networking meeting, and I it was like in the movies. I didn't even think that existed. I was like, oh my God, like I was like butterflies and sweating immediately. I was like, what the hell is going on?
I had a soulmate that I met like that. Like I could not stop smiling. I felt such like a dork because I was like uncontrollably just smiling at her the whole time. Like, and I was like, God, stop looking so weird right now. But she just seemed like I was so happy to see her, and I'd never met her, but yet I felt like it's you, like how you said, like I just felt so happy to be in her presence. To like see her again is very strange, but those are the characteristics of a soulmate.
So recognize them. The other thing that happens, there's a few other ones. Usually they come into your life when you need them. Like they pop into your life, like it's right.
Because sometimes I've seen people like they attach themselves to a soulmate because they're like, oh well, he or she has been there for me. They were there for me when I was going through this pain. They were there for me when I was dealing with this. They helped me get through this, and they've just been. Anytime I need them, they're there. You know, those are things that they're supposed to do. Not so much as like these are reasons why to be with them. Not saying that you shouldn't be with somebody that's like that, but sometimes you misassociate. I think that's the right word. Misassociate this person as the one who you're supposed to walk this earth with, and they're just there to get you through this pain, heal you, get you whole. And now that you're back good, you don't have no more toxicity within you, then they leave you, or maybe you journey away from them.
Because a soulmate's there oftentimes to help you grow as a spiritual being. This is a spiritual relationship, right? It's a spiritual. That's why I talked about that. We are now transcending our traditional old school relationships to spiritual partnerships, right? So it's like it's a spiritual partnership, and you might journey with them for a month, a week, 2 years, 10 years, lifetime. Sometimes a soulmate can be a life partner. Like I believe I'm going to be with the soulmate as my life partner, not my twin flame. We've talked about that before. But so another characteristic is they energize you. Like you don't know why. Like they have a good vibration. Like you're with them, you're like, I don't know what it is. Like I feel good around their energy. Like it's not someone that like drains you. It's when you meet because you're here. Like it just the energy is good, right?
Like I just feel so good when I talk to them. I feel so great when I'm around them. I just feel like the world stands still. Oh my gosh, it's such a
or it can be something subtle. So Naim and I are soulmates. Now, we're not romantic soulmates. We had talked about that.
In our twin flame video.
Yeah, so people are commenting about us being a couple.
Like that we were a couple because of our strong connection. Yeah. And we are here to show you people that you can make strong connections with soulmates, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to journey with them romantically. You know, it just means that they are there to be a part of your beautiful soul tribe that you have in your around you. This is an opportunity for you to create a balanced, beautiful relationship with the opposite sex and not always journey down that emotional relationship-y road. So, we are here to teach you guys, show you guys, and promote more positive interactions with the opposite sex, with meeting someone, having a connection, and not just throwing yourself off a cliff or just, this is it, I found it,
Yep, or I'm going to have to be intimate with this one. We need to date, and we have to, it's like, it's a beautiful relationship when you can have a soulmate, and especially an opposite sex soulmate, and you can be like, hey, we can love each other unconditionally and not have any expectations of anything more.
If anything, I find it more beautiful to have relationships like that, to where you can love unconditionally, you can share, you can be open, you can be vulnerable, you can be tender, but it's not with the person that you're in a relationship with, so there's no obligation.
Well, it's truly unconditional, right? Like
it's just genuine.
Like, it's just genuine. Like you're not fulfilling any romantic needs of mine.
No,
I'm not doing it's unconditional. Right. So like when we met though, there was like, it wasn't like, but it was when I had seen you. I've been walking, met at this event, and I had walked by him a few times, and it wasn't until you came up and you were talking to a friend, and I happened to walk along.
Bird just like slid out the shadows. Like I was talking to her friend, like, "Hey, how you doing, Queen? How's it going?" Bird's like, "What is your name?" And I was just like, and it was like that moment my view just shifted. I was like, "Who is this sister?" Like, cause she just stepped out, and it was that like the feeling that we explained, like it's you, like, hey.
Yeah.
You know, it was.
So for me, because I had a different feeling, like you get in your head. So I had walked.
Because that's how you looked at me. You was like, what is your name? Like you needed to hear my name to remember who I was.
I recognized you at that moment because I've been walking by you, and I was like, "Who's this player? Like, I got this player that
Everybody always thinks this face I must be a player because all my high school people know what this is not. I have not always had this form. Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, when you actually came up and you introduced yourself and you said Naim, all of a sudden at that moment, I recognized you. I was like, oh, because I could feel what it is like I could feel your energy, and when I felt your energy, it was like, oh, and that's kind of what it is like a soulmate. Like you feel their energy, and there is a beautiful like connection, and it makes you feel good. Like it elevates your being. So that's another characteristic of soulmate.
Yeah.
Click it.
Had to snap at the energy in the air real quick. I was like, whoo, just talking about soulmates. It's like, just gets me inspired to, elevate myself and keep things upstairs, in my mental space, balanced and beautiful.
Yes.
Soulmates. If you learn how to recognize your soulmates, if you learn how to tap into acknowledging that, you will be able to use these people what they're meant for, not use them for what they're not meant for, because we all use each other in different ways. But if you understand the purpose of a soulmate, as they come into your life, you are going to be able to transition through soulmates, not like in a sexual sense, but just in an energy sense of meeting so many people that you connect with over your life. I'm sure many of you have tons of stories of meeting people and now they're no longer in your life. At one time you felt like, oh, I'm with this person, I see the future with them, we're gonna be together, I see us getting old, and now poof, they're gone. That's it.
And if you have that, like, just to know that they came to teach you something important, and there are some of us are going to have our life partners with soulmates. There's some people that meet a soulmate when they're 10 years old and they are dating by the time they're 16, they marry, and that is their journey with the soulmate. We talked about, all of us have different journeys, and we have to honor those things. But another characteristic too, though, was a soulmate is like you could talk forever, right? And it's a very spiritual kind of connection, right?
Oh yeah, deep. Like I say, you just meet random people sometimes, and you just start a conversation on the bus, or like I said, at the grocery store, in line at the bank. Even at school. A lot of people meet up in college, and you just connect with so many different souls like that. And like Bird was speaking on that, we spoke on our last video. It's important to not compare your lives to other people. Don't look at, sometimes when we're not in love or we're not having love, we see people loving each other. We're like, ugh, go somewhere with all of that. You know what I'm saying? That because you don't have that. So you feel like, I don't want to see that right now. I ain't trying to see love. Love ain't in my life. I want to see your love. Take your love somewhere else, Yes. But you have to keep everything about self. Don't compare your life to anybody else in any format, not even just with relationships, just whatever you're dealing with. Don't compare yourself. You're just gonna make your mental go cuckoo. It's not healthy, and it's not wise to do that. No matter how much you feel like you just sometimes. But I know some of us feel like I'm watching everybody get love. Everybody's loving. Where's my love? Where's my one? Where's like your one is right here. I know it sounds corny and cheesy, but it's the truth.
But it's the truth.
It's that's truth. Yes. Like, you have to be comfortable with being in love with yourself, not just accepting yourself, but being in love.
You are the love of your
me.
life. Yes.
I'd rather be alone than with somebody else, but I know that my physical body needs that. So I search for that, with my energy, but not like I'm looking for it. But I'm aware that I need a partner, but I enjoy my time with myself. I enjoy being me. I like taking myself to the movies. I like taking myself on dates. I take myself out to eat. You know what I'm saying? I take myself to walks on parks. I chill by myself.
But that's because when you really we're going to talk more about being alone,
Indeed, yes.
And the power of it. But like when you really love yourself, you enjoy. Like I love being alone with my company. But that is what a soulmate, because for me, I know when I was in a long relationship for a long time, and when I got out of it, like I was like, because I'd already started the healing journey. I had started my healing journey for a few years, which was what made me leave this relationship that was not healthy for me. and which a lot of us do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I got out, I was like, okay, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to, and I had met my twin flame. I'm like, no, I'm healed. I'm ready for this now. And, a friend of mine said, maybe you should take 9 months. And I was like, I don't need 9 months. Like, no, I'm ready.
Months?
I'm ready. Like, I can't, like, no, I want to do it now. But that's what the soulmates come to help you. Remind you, like, to do your work, like you even reminded me that, because I was helping you when I first met you, healing your heart, but I still had some work to do on me. And, here's Naim saying, bird, 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 bird,
because
bird,
she lifted me, because her being a soulmate to me, she lifted me back up to where I was at, because I was in a very low and dark place. I forgot that I was a light worker. I forgot the purpose that I had learned in my younger days in life, and she reminded me of that by being like, you the first other person that I met that said I'm a light worker, because I have only been, at that time I had not met anybody else who knew that.
And we said that immediately, like we texted, and I was like, you're a light worker, and
I was
we'd only met once,
but because you lifted me up and you healed me and you allowed me to get back to my proper place, I was able to then in turn use my energy to lift you back up and help you heal on your journey. See, like, benefiting from your soulmates, my people, benefit from these beautiful people that come into your life. Don't always take them in as if I found the love that I've been searching for. This is it. This is all that I need. And I need to do whatever I can to keep you and never let you go. Like, that's that toxic stuff. And it's not healthy and it's not wise. You need to be able to receive and let go. Receive and let go. Don't hold on to anything as if it's permanent, because nothing belongs to you.
Yes.
If you are getting loved by someone or you're receiving love, that's the universe giving you a blessing. That's the universe saying, I know stuff's been hard. I'm going to give you somebody to love on you for a while. And then they might drift away, or they might stay for a minute.
And even if you are, some of us, our journeys, I know some people that have been with like their soulmate since they were even young, and eventually one person is going to die before the other. Like, eventually you're going to have to, you're going to have to be alone. Like, it's so, a soulmate is vital. Really, so it's important. And, so I think one of the big characteristics of a soulmate is that there's more than one. Like, there's many different soulmates you're going to meet. It's like, a tribe. Like, for me, it's like you finding my soul tribe, right?
Right.
You find this tribe, and it's empowering, and it makes you feel good, and you gotta
love a soul tribe. Yeah, if you don't got no soul tribe, get one. But you can only develop a soul tribe from being aware of who your soulmates are, being aware of the type of energy that you associate yourself with. Like I said, everything that we teach, everything that we explain, we express, it all goes back to self. It's up to you. You have to be on the journey of healing yourself in order to even tap into these things. Because if you're not taking care of the work that you need to take care of for your heart, for your mind, for your spirit, you don't even need to be dealing with no relationships. You don't need to be trying to be with nobody, because you need to take care of yourself. Because if you're not saying that you need to be a perfect individual, but if you're not on the journey of self-healing, if you have not been going through things to take care of past pain, as your soulmates or even your twin flame might come along, you're not even going to be in a space where you're able to receive from them, because you haven't brought yourself up into that place where you can take advantage of this. Because you won't even see it for what it's supposed to be. You'll just see it the way that your mind perceives it based off of where you're at that time. So like I was saying, how a soulmate might come into your life and you will try to hold on to them because you're dependent on them, because you're not loving yourself enough. You don't have enough love to sustain yourself if they leave you or once they're gone. So it all goes back to
why we have broken hearts. We come back to that because usually we meet somebody, we're not whole, and we have a little piece that is missing, or a little piece or a huge piece, and that person fills up that piece, and that person usually has their broken piece and their missing piece, and we fill up their missing piece. So when they leave, whenever it is, all of a sudden we're back to I'm not whole. And a lot of times when we're in a relationship, like we are hurting so bad because that person made us feel loved. Like, they love me, so I must be lovable. And when they leave, then we get back to our core belief that I'm not enough.
Right.
I'm not lovable. And then we just fall apart because we're like, this is this is our big thing with that. So that's important. Again, about soul tribe, though, I must say about me with my soul tribe, I didn't start meeting my soul tribe Because I know a lot of people are saying, like, when you start this healing journey, a lot of times, you're in karmic relationships and you don't feel
Well,
really...
We never really talked about karmic relationships. They don't know about karmic relationships.
We haven't.
We never
Should we go over that real quickly?
I mean, we can step into it because karmic relationships isn't something that's like, it doesn't take that long to explain.
So a karmic relationship is a non-soulmate relationship.
Non-soulmate, non-twin flame.
And it's a relationship that you have to grow. And a lot of times you grow through pain.
Most of the 9 times out of 10, it's a painful relationship. There's a lesson involved, but it's not the way that you would learn a lesson from a twin flame or a soulmate. It's usually those twisted, nasty relationships.
Energy vampire.
Why did I be with them? Why was I with them for so long? You might see a sister or a friend or an uncle that's just with this person. Like, why are you with them? Why do you stay with them? Why are you just, you know what I'm saying? And it's very important to acknowledge these relationships because they're there to teach you something. Some people don't, like I said, they don't begin the journey of self-healing, so they never leave the karmic relationship. They just stay in the loop of it, you know. And sometimes, I ain't gonna say that. I would just say that they stay in the loop of it. They never get it out, and they never learn from it. That's why a karmic relationship is very, like, how do I say, like, karmic. It is karmic, but
you have to. It's about a lesson that you need to learn.
Yeah. Indeed, it's a lesson. If you're not trying to learn a lesson, if you're not trying to see through why you're going through this, why you're with this person, then you're just gonna stay in that loop, and it's a sad loop to see. I know many of you have seen.
Painful,
It's painful to watch somebody just stick with somebody that's just toxic. They just pull each other down. It's just either he's over her or she's over him, and you just hate the relationship altogether.
And you just are comfortable in your pain. I did that for a long time.
You're comfortable in your pain.
Comfortable and kind of mediocre.
Just settle in and just this is where my life is at. It's fine. I know that I'm. You know, some people are with people for like 5, 8 years just married because they're married and they're miserable, just miserable. And, you know, I've seen people stay in karmic relationships for the children. And it's like, you're just showing the children what an unhealthy relationship looks like. You're not benefiting them from giving them a mother and a father who don't love each other or who don't rise with each other. You're just showing them what two people who shouldn't be together look like.
Yeah, and then it just, you know, a lot of times that came from a previous generation. Like that's what you saw their parents, and now you're doing the same thing.
You're bleeding it into your children, and then they know your daughters or your sons with some person that is toxic for them, and it's just an endless cycle. Got to be cycle breaker. So watch out for those karmic relationships. If you find yourself in a karmic relationship, you know, and it's very toxic, begin the stages of getting yourself out of it. Because the thing about a karmic relationship sometimes is that it is a connection, and you're trapped in this connection with this person. Yet it's staticky. You're connecting, but when you connect, it just
a lot of drama.
Like
that's the thing about, you know, like a soulmate doesn't have all that. There's never been like there's no drama. Like I mean, there can be if someone's not healthy, but it's not like
it's not like a karmic relationship.
It's like a karmic relationship has all this drama.
Karmic relationship is just full of BS and attitudes and just misunderstandings, and nothing flows in a karmic relationship. That's one of the ways you can know that you're in a karmic relationship.
Drama.
Just so much, all of that.
Yeah.
You know.
So you know, for me, you know, I think for a lot of us, I know for my journey, I think we're going to probably end with this. So, because we could sit and talk for hours,
we'll
everybody.
Do that,
you guys will be like, oh my God.
So let's draw it back to the there ain't way too many topics. This video is supposed to be about soulmates.
Soulmates.
You know.
For me, I didn't start meeting my soul tribe, which was my soulmates, until I journeyed into my self-healing. So I had been years into really working on loving myself and healing myself. And then that's when the soulmates start popping in. So if you are in a lot of pain and you think, well, no one really gets me, I don't have any soul tribe, like, be patient with yourself. Like, just continue doing the work and loving yourself, and they will eventually come, right? They'll come.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. You have to put in the work for self. And I think and I'm gonna end on this. I think one of the things that it's going along with what we're speaking on. I find that a lot of people that I counsel, that I talk to, they will. Dang it! See where you threw me, y'all. I was saying that they would. Dang it! What was you saying? You were talking. Dang it! You know, a brother that lost his train of thought. It's very what were you saying right now?
We were talking about soul tribe and not finding your soul tribe.
And not finding your soul tribe. Okay,
and
there you go.
That you're not healthy, yes.
A lot of people want to quickly heal themselves. They want to just be done. You know,
like
they just
I want to do
in a
I'm
month.
like,
I just want to snap my fingers and no.
That's
You
what I
got to
did.
think
Yeah.
in months, in years time.
Years.
And so the point is that you can't think about time. You can't think about how long it's going to take. You can't think about, you know, just can't think about how long it's going to take. It's just going to take some time, and you're going to have to go through it, and it's not going to be easy. But when you get through it, the beauty that will emerge from your heart and the way that your environment will change is...
It's amazing.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
so
it's the yellow brick road of healing. It's a magical, it's not always magical, but when you're aligned and the more and more, it becomes more magical and more magical. And then you're just hopping and skipping along, right?
Right. Because you understand, you understand what's going on there.
Yeah. All right. Comment below. Ask us questions. Any questions you want to answer?
A lot of you people have asked some pretty good questions. You know, if as we said before, if you have any suggestions that you want us to speak about, just drop it in the comments, you know, or DM us on either one of our Instagram pages, and we'll reach back out to you.
Yes. All right.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Have a beautiful, powerful day.
A beautiful and powerful day. Gotta love it. And Bird, I'm gonna talk to y'all about heartbreak with soulmate. You know what I'm saying? Fresh out the gate. Cannot relate. There is no debate. Oh, man. Oh,
okay.
My goodness.
All right. Now you ready? Now we can start. Okay. What are you doing?
Just randomness. Okay.
Randomness. All right. Blah. Blah.
No. All right, come on, Bird.
Okay, you ready?
All right,
okay.
Come on.